Hey yo, salute to all my subscribers and a special shout out to everybody else passing through. YouTube, what's good? People often talk about how in relationships you should treat your partner and look at your partner as your best friend. People often talk about how important it is to have a connection with your partner, how important it is to uh, get along with your partner and match up with certain personalities to best navigate through the peaks and valleys, the ups and downs, the ebbs and flows that come with any relationship, especially a romantically charged relationship. But what I started thinking about recently, and I started drawing a connection between people who have friendships, people who have best friends, and what the dynamic is between those relationships versus the romantically charged relationships. And what I learned when I started doing that, or what I started to observe, is pretty interesting. So I have a question that I want to pose to my channel, to my viewership, and to my listenership. How come the way that we gauge and the way that we choose and look for, let's say, a best friend or a close friend, how come those qualities are different from how we look for in the initial stages for a partner, a romantically charged partner? And I guess I would say it's something that it's a problem for men and women alike, although it looks differently. What I'm specifically referring to is kind of the requirements or the ideals that I see people throwing out there when they talk about meeting new people. For women, typically, you hear things like, a woman wants to meet a man who has a decent job, who has his own place, doesn't live with his parents, or doesn't have roommates, or has a car, or makes a certain amount of money. All these different things. And then for men, while those are not typically what our list of requirements looks like, most of us we don't want a woman who has a lot of kids, or if she has a few kids, we don't necessarily want a woman who has multiple different men who father those children. We don't, we want women who may look a certain way or have a certain body type. Um, but vastly in comparison, I think the list of requirements that men have for women are far less than the list of requirements that women typically have when they're looking for or potentially getting involved with certain men. I understand that, and that's fine. Have your list of preferences, have your list of requirements. You got to have a starting point. But what I'm wondering, what I'm curious about, and what my question is, are we too strict or do we have too many requirements when it comes to choosing a potential life partner? Because when you choose your circle of friends, the requirements are geared toward that actual relationship, right? You want loyalty, you want honesty, you want someone who's going to be there for you. And while people say they want those same things in a relationship, it's funny, but those are the things, the qualities that people typically look for secondary. You want this person to be stable in their own way. You want them to be, have their own place. You want them to make a certain amount of money, or you want them to fit these set of requirements fiscally, financially, and then after those requirements are met, then you look for the qualities in that person, that you want as far as the intimate dealings with that person. But I'm wondering, as far as women, because this is really what my question is to fellas, we really don't have much requirements. It really is all about that vibe with that right person, barring those few shallow, topical things that we look for. But women, the money, the car, the house, whatever it is, right? Is there a certain point where you have to start questioning your list of requirements for potential partners. Is it unfair if what should really matter and what does matter is how a person will treat you, what a person will bring to the relationship as far as ability to keep that relationship fresh, communicate, be thoughtful, and have their emotional, uh, pull their end emotionally, contribute emotionally. Um, shouldn't those things supersede the fiscal or the physical or the financial aspects of what people contribute to certain types of relationships, depending on what the nature of that relationship is? That's what I really want to know. Um, and for you women who do that, and this is not a debate, this is not a, I'm not coming down on you women. I'm just curious about something. I'm just thinking out loud. Shouldn't we all be responsible to be stable within ourselves and for ourselves? Shouldn't we all be at a place where we can take care of ourselves anyway? Why does that have to be something that if you're in a place where you have the things that you say that you're looking for as far as requirements go, why is it necessary for a person that you're looking for to have those same things? Not to say that it's wrong to want that, but if you're continuing to have problems with the partners that you're choosing, why is it that you don't augment your search criteria? Why is it more important to find the person who has the tangible things first and then the relationship quality second? Why is it not more important or as important to find someone who has the intangibles first and then the tangibles be secondary? Because it's interesting, but when I look out and the people that I speak to and the different relationships, it seems like the people who put the intangible things primary and the tangible things secondary, those are the people who I come across who seem historically happier, or at least who seem to have found a person that they're more compatible with. And then on the flip side, it seems like the people who put the tangibles primary and the intangibles secondary, those are the people I typically see who have the majority of the complaints. Granted, there's always going to be complaints because no one's going to be perfect or 100% of what you're looking for. And it's a little bit of a chess game in that sense, choosing what things to settle for and what things to kind of hold out for. But I'm really curious and interested to know what's more important because the way I see it is very rare that you're going to find someone who's well rounded all the way around the board in the intangibles and the tangibles. Usually you're going to find someone whose strong point or whose strong suit is one or the other. You may find someone who's so focused on their career, so focused on being financially set that they're not going to have the energy or the desire to put the energy into the intangibles. And then on the other side, you're going to have the people who do focus more on the intangibles, might not necessarily care about having the physical um, things or those surface things. But why is that person less eligible than someone who does but may not have the things that at the end of the day you really need to be sustained in that relationship? I'm just curious to know. Um, Let me know what y'all think. I mean, is it are we at a point of critical mass in relationships where maybe we should start altering not only our requirements, what we look for, but what's important? I mean, society, the whole landscape of society is changing, and we live in a time where it's hard for everyone financially, right? So, how come it does not seem then that the requirements of those among us who look for people who are more stable financially or have a certain credit score or who have, you know, a certain type of vehicle or a vehicle at all, why can't we just get back to people? And this person treats me right, or this person seems like they have the potential to, so that's what I'm going to focus on and let the rest fall in place if and when it will. Just curious to know. I'm not. staking a claim here. I'm not asserting a position. I'm just curious. What matters more? Because something has to matter more. It can't be equal. Because you're not going to find equal. You're not going to find someone who's equally possessive of intangibles as they are of tangibles. One has to take precedence. And so my question is, even if slightly, which one is more important? Interested to see what the answers are going to be. Comment down below, like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what y'all think about this one. I don't pretend to know everything. I just know what I know, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace and love.